Lemo is a senior Gewog administrative officer. She has been in the profession for last 14 years. She started her career serving one of the remotest Gewogs in the country, in eastern Bhutan. Uh, she has a bachelor's degree from Sharapsi College in Kawang, and as a girl, she has excelled in her profession and took part in planning, implementing, and monitoring local development plans and programs. So now we will listen to Lemo on the challenges in local governance as a woman administrator. Welcome on the board, Lemo.
So thank you, Dr. Sheila. Kuzampo and good morning to all the co-host panelists and the audience. And thank you so much, Dashu Thachin, for inviting me to this important workshop. Going to my topic, the challenges the challenges faced as a woman administrator while working in LG. Yes, our country, Bhutan, as our Dashu Thachin has clearly pointed out that our country, Bhutan, is putting a lot of effort in improving the gender equality over the past decades. Many organizations like CSO, then NGOs has come up. Then a lot of research papers has also carried out. Lots of seminars and workshops has been carried out to improve the gender equality in the country. Apart from there, our country also the law of our country also doesn't allow any kind of discrimination against the women. So unlike in other countries, we Buddhist women enjoy equal freedom and equality in the country. Even then also I can see still there is gender gap in the country. So from my point and my own personal point of view, what the challenges I faced as a working woman administrator in the Gewog is what I feel is all because of Ngachigi as a Buddhist. We have certain deep-rooted culture norms in Mevala. Because of that, because of that, I feel that is the main cost for the challenges we women face. And so these our cultural bias and stereotyping directly or indirectly has contributed to the challenges what I have faced so far while working in the LG. So one of the challenges is the challenges faced by me is the rural posting. Unlike other civil servant, GAUs, administrative officers, are posted in the rural areas, in the far-flung Gewogs across the country. Some Gewogs maximum we have to work for the 7 days and minimum for the 2 to 3 days we have to work. So our job nature is we are posted in rural areas, and our job nature is of travel nature. Most of the time we have to travel. So because of that rural posting, as a woman, we feel challenges while going for the tour, and it's not safe to work alone as being a woman. So we have to look for some lady friends to accompany us. And if again there is a problem. If we go with a male friend and if we accompany a male friend with us to tour, and there comes some gossiping by the society. And these are the challenges. Sometimes without friend, I cannot walk all alone in far-flung areas. So somehow I have to sometimes compromise the my travel program. So this is the one challenge. And second challenge is as a woman, I have to balance between my professional work and my domestic work. As a woman, I have multiple roles to play, as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, and a lot of household chores. All because of these is at the same time working in the office and working at the home is also a tiring work for me. This is also a challenge. And the third challenges I face is being a woman, we have to take the maternal responsibility. If I already pointed out that our job nature is most of the time we have to travel. As a mother, if we have an infant or a feeding kids, so going for a long distance tour is also a challenge for us. Whether we have to take our kids with us to the while we are going for the tour, which is also of course a burden for us, and or we can compromise again here with our travel program in Mebala. So that is also the challenge. And the other challenge is inferiority context la. Nachigi Buddhist context na lo kerab gugi loji dubala. Which says that women has to go 9 generation to be to born as a man in Mebala. So because of that, there is always there no matter how we perform at the Gewog level, kadimchira chaju kadevera sa genbe bedi beroela. Always because of that kerab words, always society thinks that women a man of they also think that a woman is inferior to a man in a world. They always think man is superior. Anichi is a challenge for me. Then lack of capacity building is a challenge for me. Because as a woman, I can be a role model for the women empowerment in my Gewog. Role model I can convince them, or I can make or influence them also. But in smaller ways, I've contributed a lot for the empowerment of women in our Gewog, in my Gewog. I have contributed a lot, but in a smaller ways. But to make a great difference, I don't have that capacity, that training capacity. So I couldn't go beyond to improve the gender equality issues in the country. So what I feel we have in our plan, for the empowerment of women, we also have a plan indicator, HGKRS, local plan indicators for the empowerment of women. We can allocate budget. We have authority to allocate the budget and plan for the women empowerment programs. But due to lack of that capacity, I cannot because of that lack of training capacity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your interesting conversation, for being frank, open, and for letting us know the challenges of a woman administrator. I will agree with you on the deep-rooted cultural norms that bar women. So if you could elaborate to us, like you said, that women are inferior to men for almost like 9 generations, more like Kerabku. So how does that affect you in delivering your service as a woman Gewog administrative officer?
Yes, because I'm posted in a conservative environment, that deep-rooted culture is even more in the Gewog compared to the town areas. Yes, I know that culture norms culture norm is always there, and I even heard some people saying that that Gewog is not going well because the area officer is woman. So like that, I have many heard about that inferiority context from the point of inferiority context. But what I feel is that I take I don't take it seriously. I feel that it's just our traditional beliefs in the salab there, and so I leave it. So it that context didn't make me low, or didn't even discourage me in carrying out my duties. So I've carried out my duties, my responsibilities to my capacities. Just Buddhist traditional belief in me, so I didn't take it seriously. So instead, I kept on performing my duties. The challenges, yes, I can see it as a challenges, but it didn't affect my performance.
Okay, Lalemo, yes, I understand that a lot of women tend to ignore it. Mola. Okay, this is how our society is. But how do you think, what should be done, especially in the rural communities? It's very difficult even in the urban areas. Now, as a Gewog administrative officer, how do you think should be done to overcome those cultural, that deep-rooted cultural norms that really discourage women from coming forward, that discourage women from becoming decision makers? Ignoring it, yes, a lot of us tend to do that, but what can be done than just ignoring it?
Yes, some might ignore it, but there are also women who is affected by these norms. So as an administrator, and I have contributed many many programs for the empowerment of women in a smaller way. Like in the, I have also proposed the program like women awareness on women participation in decision making, and awareness against the gender discrimination, gender violence and discrimination. Tani Zumbe then again during the time of a 5-year plan formulation at the Gewog level. As a woman, I always used to encourage women. I always used to encourage women, and I always seek their opinions and their ideas, and also ensure that the women are not left out in the participation. Our government is saying that yes, the number wise the women participation at the meeting level is very high, but they usually most of the time they don't come forward. Participation is less. Number wise it's more, but it depends on who conducts the meetings and all. So during the time when I conduct the meetings with the community, so I always push up the women to come up and share their views, share their ideas. Anyway, this were the programs for the empowerment of women I did in the Gewog. Likewise, we supported women entrepreneurship. Women entrepreneurship support them. Some has come up with a flower business as a florist. Some has come up with a mushroom business. Then we also provided in-house training to them. Then we also created, we also given training to women in terms of any food processing training we have provided them. Then Anchi as a woman I did it.
I think you have done more than enough to promote women to participate in the meetings, to make decisions. Chidi, Dashtajin had pointed out that in Thimphu Thomde, there's like in the last 15 years, there's no women representatives. So what about Kawang Gewog? Are there women representatives as Sokpas, as like Mangmi, or what about the upcoming elections now? Are women interested to contest? So how do you see it?
The women participation in the LG is very low. Here currently we have only 2 female LG members. So as a ATM officer, before election, I used to give, or Gewog admin officer used to provide a lot of awareness program on the participation in the election, LG election. Te anibe nga chigi godale shara tuni la election nga chigi chak tu mare megi hema te misi disu gara bodi gibe te dinalu te nga chigi amsu disulu to aten digibe amsu disulu na misame ka chilo encourage pe digibe nga chigi na misame gi godagi programs le shara cham digibe te debe tuni se shuni bela te anibe da di I don't know why la ani kamchira awareness chindi bero they are ani me wala reluctant te dachinga gi shudos me because of that nga chigi culture norms gibe we cannot do say no do ina kadibina they have go miswe nga chigi how much we contribute in giving awareness how much we encourage women even then also nga chigi number didi lesser women la but I feel in upcoming election again we have to create the awareness la and participation in the LG la and so I will try la there. So I hope this time in this coming election I hope more women participation will be there.
Okay, Lalemo. Daruko Shinchila, what has changed in the last few years which has made it easier for women at workplace to focus on productivity? Since you have been in this profession for the last 14 years, do you think anything has changed over the last few years so that women can focus on the productivity? Or it is still the same?
Little bit changes I see la. Dumdrachi that the mindset of people is changing from my own personal point of view la. Because our government is putting a lot of effort for the improvement of gender scenario the improvement our government is doing a lot of effort in level. Then a lot of awareness campaign is carrying out. I can see little changes compared to past la.
Like you said, Lalimogi, you have been very specific that it's very difficult balancing your professional and personal responsibilities. So I think a lot of us understand it, but what do we do? What do you think can be done so that we lighten up this multiple role of women, especially in the Gewog Nalu, you see a lot of women, maybe they are not coming forward to participate in elections, to participate, to make decisions because they have a lot of responsibilities. So what do you think can be done to lighten up their rules?
Firstly, we need a support from our spouse la. Our family support is very important normally because ngachigi netang nalu chimnagi lagi is only meant for women say dubala dotogi mentality le ngachigi Buddhist kila. So hani gi genkudi la chimnagi household chores ki genkudi if it is carried equally by the man la man ge the ani it's not only the responsibility of women so if they also equally carry out the responsibility of ani chimnagi ladi genkudi dandabe badawajin nami saminga chigi amsugi ani performance na lu nami samigi changes chi ani gibe basni me said what I feel la ani chino mela.
Okay. Chidilani, you said that you make a lot of differences, small differences. I think that's what matters most. No one can change anything overnight, but as long as we keep trying and as long as we try to do something, I think that's very important. And you said that to make the small changes in the Gewog administration, you can allocate budget. No, budget
Yes.
is allocated, bed soup and all. So what's the role of Gewog administrative officer in budget allocation, especially I asked this context, especially when you have a male cup. So how is it possible, and will things change because of through this budget allocations?
Yes, as a ADM officer, we are just in all the civil servant posted under the Gewog administration, or we are just implementer. They coming to decision making and officer authority is the right, LG members have right over us. We are just implementer. We are implementing the plans and program as per their direction, their guidance, their direction that Tibe Mato, once again, but any plan nalu ngachigi for the empowerment, and someday we have to align with that indicators ngachigi local government indicators 10 year. So we have to plan the activities aligning with that indicators. We can, as a Gewog planner, as a Gewog admin, we can put a proposal to the GT GT na lunga proposal to go for approval Anizumchi gender empowerment the gender netang anizumchi do gender empowerment the budget anchi shawachin. So our program should be clearly indicated in the proposal and put it in the GT for approval and understand. Then GT member will decide based on an importance. They will decide. If they think it's very important, then they will endorse.
Last Mola. Anichi, maybe the second last question before we wrap up this your session. Like you shared a lot of personal problems. How did you overcome those problems so that other women learn from it?
Chidi ngaragi hard work in the because of my hard work as I have clearly pointed out in earlier kachilo tamigi katemchira ngachilo ani kachilo ati poge the chipta di ati mabera chimabala. Sad thing is that even women do not support women la ani mebala. I've noticed that women ge ngachi women lo cha mijabela kungi poge lora ani mam kungi charge di poge lora imebala. So even then also how I overcome that challenges is because of my hard work kungi gachi no gadebe no ngacharagi genku pomidi gentikedi oimidi ngachigiza gendigibe gachilo perform be watching the garami garage ani the pogezume be mispenomidi garadi memebala in the Gewog. There are also some people who appreciate our work The mapa, most of them are anime. They prefer male over anime female. But there are also some people who appreciate our performance. Ngachi atiladi dindi be bedawachin, ngachi dakshung di dindi sase. Anizumbe appreciation duala. Ani kungi appreciation idalu ngachi dore dilel hapsa genbe bebe. Because of my hard work ngaragi capacity nalo I have performed my duties ani ngagi overcome bedi shunibela. And second thing is family support di gobe shunila. We need family support ngacharagi spouse nale bedi beru, parents nale bedi beru. Because of that family they are very supportive spouse, my husband, he supports me a lot. And coming to my parents, they also supports. They advises me how to perform and what to do. I have a good family support so any challenges was all overcome and I went forward.
Okay, let's the last question as one of the 73 women Gewog administrative officers in the country, how do you manage to raise issues of women and children in the community, Mola? So what are the advantages of being a woman Gao so that you can, how do you see women and children issue different from others?
Okay, in my Gewog, I have always focused on most of the time on women. Even we have given priority to women. The Kachira Bedi Biro, we are thinking from the point of empowerment of women. Animationally, we have most of the time we focused on Amsudisu Japaku Jara Majawala. Nachigi Kachigi La Chibedi Biro, Gewog Nalu, GT members, the Chikabe, Sunday National Lebe, Nachigi Kachira Bedi Biro. Even we have conducted a lot of training, training now the base training the Besachiru Kachigi meeting Yidi Besachiru. We always encourage women to participate. Women participate bechu. Then in consultation with the health sector, the consultation be ngachigi awareness tisula. Then ngachigi kachilo ma with the help of any kachilo legal officers of officer of Donghagla. Ngachigi then awareness create be so create be. Then ngachi kazungi meeting na jodi bero. So we always anidla. Always ngachi women gi topic di bara bami se junila. Donc ba then kondisulo encourage be. Ngachi chamatogo decision making na chamatogo se ngachi encourage this be be ani beda. Always ngachi ani focus di women nara halam chipairu che kundu jibe tani be bedo se junila.
Okay, last. Any closing remarks? Anything you want to add?
I would like to say that Anila, the ngache as we are 73 in numbers la, and female gaula. Out of 131 Gewog administrative officer, 73 are women la, and it quite a huge number in Mebala. So what I can say is we can bring changes la in terms of empowerment of women no mela. Tangachigi ani change chi basuni mes because as a female gaul we are in huge number la. Tani beda what we are lacking is ngachilu ani capacity chi minowala ani ngachiki women empowerment gi dele kulu jongdar gazum training gazum jimachin te kadibe unga anizum we lack that capacity la. So our parent department could kindly look into this matter and then ngachilu anizum gi training gi opportunity ten anibe bewachin. So in future as a gao ngachigi we can bring a change say ani chino me se shunila. And second thing is the ngachigi amsulus mamge majority of the female do not support women in Evala. But that amsulu charge give support. We need support from them also. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalemo. Thank you so much for the interesting conversation. A lot of women, I think, will agree with Lemo on the challenges women faces. And but like she said, I think it's very important for us to do our work professionally without failing our duty. I think that will help us to take forward. And like Lemo pointed out, I hope the parent agencies of administrative officers and also I think the local governance itself, also pointed the same issue on lack of capacity of LG members on conducting trainings and capacity building of women in the local governance in Mebala. I hope the parent agencies and also other relevant agencies will take note of it and do the necessary. Thank you so much.